Untucked, you have found us. Congratulations. You have reached Untucked. It's a happy place for guys, a place where you can breathe, laugh, and relax without getting beaten up by anyone at work or at home. I'm Josh Miller. Steve Gostkowski's on the right. Dan Klecko always on the left. We have Ryan Ludt, Brock Baranowski, Cal Miller, and the man spinning records at this rave is Ryan Reynolds. Good stuff. Just let's make this clear on what you really stumbled across here, right? This is Untucked, and there's a lot of shows that we're guy shows, and the next thing you know, they got like 6 female guests, or they bring this woman reporter on. This is a guy show, right? And people don't understand. Oh, you got to be fair. No, we don't. We're allowed to have one place where guys get together and just shoot the shit about anything. You could be a 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60-year-old guy. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about dumb things, low IQ things. We're going to say my generation was better than your generation, and this is why. We go down rabbit holes that make no sense at dinner talk with the wife and kids or at work. But here, it's a safe place. Gentlemen, how are we? Klex, Gotti, what's shaking?
Nothing much, buddy. That was a great intro.
That was great, man. I mean, I like this, like, down with women kind of thing. Let's go. Fight the power.
Yeah, you know what? Because we're surrounded by them. We have to be politically correct all the time, everywhere we go. And it's even guys at work that just nag you like a woman. So this is just a nice place where you don't have to you can just be us. And I'm a big fan of that. Well, listen, guys, obviously the NFL season's now, which is probably the greatest time. I remember playing and saying, okay, kids, honey, I will see you in a few months. It's the greatest excuse. I have no playbook. You know that. It's one page. So I pretended as if I was really important and made it seem like, I got to be left alone. I did that the entire season. Nothing better. Does it mean anything to me? No, not really. To me, as a kicker, you go out when it's 4th down, the offense stalled. I got to go and then save the day. I give them the ball, and I'm back. So it means nothing to me other than I'm excited about it, and I could be left alone for about 4 or 5 months. What does it do for you guys?
Go ahead, Clark.
I mean, I don't know about you guys. I still do get the itch. And, the fact that I am like coaching high school football, it lets me get a little bit of it out. But, it's funny this time of year, my body still is kind of, even, 12 years since I played, it's still kind of crazy that my body knows that this is the time of year when you should be doing something. So I love this time of year. I don't think there's a better sport in the world, and I'm excited for it to be back.
Yeah, I mean, Gotti, you and I had the same playbook essentially, right? I mean, but as for you, what did the start of a season mean to you? And I know when I first met you, you weren't a big fan of football, but I think you grew into the routine and then loved it. I remember we would play wiffle ball, we would play soccer, we would do all these things. I'm like, dude, football's like, I'm just good at it. I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the game, I love the guys, love the locker room, but it's like, I mean, So I'd love to hear your answer on that. When the season starts for you, what are you really thinking?
Well, I mean, you're right. I had a love-hate relationship with kicking. I was glad I could do it, but I didn't really, I don't know. It was a weird thing, but I was excited. The excitement of football, like Kleck said, it is the best sport in the world. I wish I could have done something different, but I was glad that I got to do it. I mean, I had a natural talent at it, and I worked my butt off towards it. I kind of wanted just to make sure I got off to a good start because, as you know, I didn't really care about my stats, but your stats kept you on the team. So I just wanted to get off to a good start and, set the year right, because I feel like if you have a few first good games, the rest of the year is a lot easier. If you start off pretty crappy like I did with the Titans, then the rest of the year is just kind of like hellacious. So I was just probably more nervous and excited about just what's the first kick going to feel like, what's the what kind of situation am I going to be in, and I think just that nerves and the excitement that you cared about doing well kind of set in. And, playing for the Patriots, we won pretty much every one of our season openers. I can't remember if we ever lost any. So I wasn't too worried about that with Brady and Belichick at the helms. I was kind of just worried about myself at that point.
Everything after the first game, then it gets real. But that first game, the buzz, guys are tired of hitting each other. It's excitement. The locker room, it's weird, right? Because it's the first game of the season, but it does have that playoff feel because guys are pumped and amped. You have guys making all different concoctions that they take before a game. They'll come to the game very polite and nice. By the time they're done, you have to peel them off the walls to get them onto the field. I personally, when I saw the schedule come out, and again, this is selfish. I don't judge me, but this is what punters do. You look at the schedule, you say, where are the domes? Where's it going to be in October, November? Yeah, where the hell am I going to be? If Chicago, Buffalo, I see them later in the year. You're like MFing everything. You're pissed as hell. Do I have any domes? No, of course not. Or you might have a dome that's the first game of the season. You're happy about it, but then you realize that's a fucking waste because it's 85 and beautiful in Pittsburgh and New England. So, I mean, that's how the mind works. And as long as I have 3 out of 4 good games, I'm happy. That was my thing. I would break it down by months. Just give me 3 out of 4 good games. I give 3 fucks what I do on that one game I throw up. Don't make it too bad, but 3 out of 4 and I'll be happy.
I think for the beginning of the season, it's like, that excitement you talk about, Josh, it's like, no matter what, I remember Belichick used to say, we're all starting at the bottom of the mountain, right? Fuck what you did last year. Forget about it. I don't care about the rings you won, the division titles. None of it means anything. They can never take that away from you. That's what you were, right? They're going to hang the banners and they'll be there forever. But, the excitement of every new season, especially, I was fortunate enough to play for 3 of the best teams in the NFL, probably the 3 best teams in the NFL, in my 8 years of playing. And it was like, you just knew, you get off to that fast start and you will be in the NFC or AFC championship game. And it was like, just that excitement of knowing that, hey, here comes a new season. We get to build on every game. And I imagine it's the same in every locker room, whether you're the Browns, the Texans, the Cardinals, everyone thinks, oh man, you watch, we're going to shock the world this year. I think that's the excitement, right? And then it's a lot of guys that like, look, there's your starting 22, right? They're the guys, they're solidified, they got the contracts. Then there's those other 30 guys that, man, a lot of them, this is their first time, right? This is a real game. These bullets are live. Like, this is going to be unbelievable. This is everything I've dreamed about my whole life. That's that excitement of the first week. It's unbelievable.
Let me ask you this question. So I remember, obviously training camp, right when you get to training camp, defense is destroying the offense because it takes forever for the offense to click. Defense thinks they're, this is our year. Look how we're killing them. Offense will catch up somewhere in the middle of that, the preseason. And then suddenly, where during the course of an NFL season does the defense start to click? The offense start to click? Like, okay, this is what we're supposed to be doing. The first couple games are a little goosey, timing-wise and all that. When's a defense click?
Well, you know what? I think especially now that, the starters and the big time players are, I don't want to say coddled, but hey, look, they're held back in camp because they don't want to get them hurt, right? And they don't want to wear them out. It's a long season. I think the first month of football is kind of like the preseason now. And I'm not saying anything that's earth shattering, but you see it. You see the sloppy football now because there isn't 4 weeks of preseason, or even back when, like in the 70s, when there was 5 and 6 games, right? You really get one dress rehearsal and maybe you play a series if you're a big time player, or if you're the starting defense altogether. So I think it takes 4 or 5 weeks before you start seeing, who's going to be the cream of the crop during the season, right? You see these teams that'll come out hot and they fizzle out because the real guys start playing, they start figuring out what's going on, and then those other teams just fade away. But the strong contenders are always there for a reason. The coach knows how to bring them along. The guys on the team, they know how to start preparing. They start to feel, they start to get in shape. Let's be honest. Game shape is different than even just practice shape. It really is. So, I think the first month of football anymore is more of the sloppy, get the kinks out of the way. And then kind of as you get into that second quarter of the season, weeks 5 through 8, I think that's where you start to see teams and defenses really start to click.
Yeah, which bothers me that they put Pickett in week 5 last year to save the fucking Steelers. Let's put the kid in week 5. So it's week 1 for his ass. Meanwhile, everyone's just finally clicking and they're playing like a team. But anyway, we'll get back to that. Gotti.
Yeah, shut up.
I know special teams, dude. Special teams, we click all year long now. You could wake us up at 3 a.m. in August. We got snap hold kick on lockdown.
That's all we got to do is just do our job. And then if we don't, we get motherfucked by everybody. But it is what it is.
Have you ever had
I do like the beginning of the year, though, because the weather is always nice. And it's like a good time to take advantage of hitting a bunch of touchbacks, maybe get a couple 50-yarders. When the weather's good, especially in New England, it's a lot easier to kick.
Have you had a pregame where you kick like shit and then suddenly, and then you were fine when the game starts? But literally, I mean, even as a pro, like I know golfers, they try to find it and then they get to that box. But what about as a kicker? Like, have you had a horrendous pregame and you're just like, I have no idea what my range is today. Let's not be on the right hash either.
1,000%. I was telling the story to some of the high school kids the other day. We were playing Dallas in their new stadium. I don't know, it's probably like 2017 or 16, something like that. And for an NFL kicker, if you kick like 20 kicks in pregame, you might miss one, right? Like a good one. I think I missed like 12 out of my 20 attempts, and I wasn't even close. I mean, I couldn't have been any worse if I tried. And then I go out and have one of the best games of my career. I think I kicked like a 57 and like a 51 and a 49 in the game, and just I couldn't miss when I got in the game. It was so bad, we were all laughing how bad it was. I was like, Jesus, have I ever been practiced before?
That's hilarious. I could just see Brad Seeley just be thinking the first couple, oh, that's cute, okay, and then getting real paranoid.
It was Joe Judge at this time, and he's actually pretty good on with specialists, but he tends to overreact sometimes, just trying to fix everything in every single moment. And I was like, it's okay, I'll just relax. Let me get out of my way. And I was laughing about it. It was horrifically bad. And thank God I had a good game that game, because I was like, geez, did I lose it? Like, what the hell is going on?
What was it? Like the optics of the new stadium, just the crazy big screen and everything? Like, what was it?
Dude, I don't know, man. So sometimes when you have the talent, I think mentally is where you're good, whether you can focus and lock in. And to me, the hardest part of kicking or punting is like, you don't know how much you're going to play. You don't know when you're going to be put in the game. And it's more of like a feel thing than like, all right, I'm just going to get myself amped up. And I'm sure everyone who's played golf just goes out there that first swing. You're like, oh, damn, I don't have it today. And those are the days that are tough. And then there's been warm-ups where I can't miss. You could put a string down the middle of the upright and I can't miss, and you don't try any field goals. That's just like the thing that'll make you pull your hair out as a specialist. Like there are days where like you're locked and loaded, you're a Navy SEAL sniper out there, and you don't even get called upon to do anything. That's
hilarious. And I don't want to turn this podcast into fucking special teams, but I'll tell you what the worst thing is when you're hitting fucking bombs. I remember you get into a dome. This is another thing. God was nice enough to make me play, but every time I felt like I had my shit that game, he had me pooch punting from 30-5 going in. So you got to kick. If you kick it 36 yards, it's a touchback, so your net's like 15. But if you hit it to the 10, it's a 25-yard punt. Everyone high fives you, but then you got the douchebags up in the box. Oh, just a 25-yard punt from Miller. Fuck you. I mean, it's at the 10. Yeah, of course it's 25. After the game, it's like, 6 punts for 37 yards. They're bringing guys in fucking Tuesday for workouts. That's what kickers fucking think about. Yeah. Yeah, we won by 30. Who gives a fuck? Because they'll still replace me because it's an easy piece.
I wanted to ask, did you guys ever have any like pregame rituals you did? I mean, like for kicking, do you have any like things you'd always do before every game? Like same thing you'd ever wear? Like, was there like any lucky
I
thing
would do one thing everywhere we go, and this is just being funny because it's our little circle. So it'd be it's the kicker and it's our snapper, and we're on the road. They boo you no matter what. So I would say to them before we go out, I might have done this a couple times with you, Gotti. I'd be say, hey, let's see what this stadium thinks of Jewish punters. And I'd run out first. And the players would just be like, fucking boo! It was just hilarious. Gotti, did we make you run out by yourself your first game?
I can't remember. You probably did. You guys messed with me a lot, but it toughened me up a little bit.
Yeah, we gave him the first 3 steps we were in, then we stopped, and he just did a fucking laser to the other goal. I'm like, yeah, hey, tradition here is to run to the opposite end zone. So, all right, cool. He was gone like fucking Forrest Gump.
Honestly, what a bunch of fucking nerds. We're in there ready to fucking give up our heads and get CTE. You guys are worried about, let's see what they think of the Jewish punter.
Well, it's funny.
Well, you got to be able to laugh at yourself as a specialist because no one's going to take you seriously. You got to take yourself seriously, but you can't get like too pissed off when people make fun of you.
I would walk to my little jungle gym, the kicking net, and I'd be like, you down there with the green shirt, all the way to you with the green hat. Fuck you. And I would say it first because the entire time they didn't watch one fucking play. They just want to motherfuck the kicker at the net. I'm like, you paid all this money for a game and you're just motherfucking me? Get the fuck out of here. Especially in fucking Philly.
Oh, Buffalo is bad too.
Yeah, Buffalo was fucking brutal. I didn't pay attention because Buffalo, you're running, it's fucking 37 miles crosswinds. And the coach like, angle it left. The fuck?
I got a good story. One time we're in Buffalo and it was freezing as can be. And like, I don't want to get too into it because I wouldn't wear how like some guys wear like the tightest pants they can get to look good. Well, I just wore like whatever felt the most comfortable. And it was really cold. This is a Seinfeld moment, but this lady on the sideline, I wore up to net. She's like, Gostkowski, where's your dick?
It's in my fucking spleen. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's the one thing that got in my head to where like made me think about, because usually it's just like, you suck, miss it, like you're an idiot. And then like she said that, and I was like, everyone was laughing at me, and I was like, oh my God.
You needed a fluffer for the rest of the game.
Yeah, my balls were trained, dude. They're so little, adorable little fucking things. They would just combine as one and shoot straight up. It would take me Wednesday, I get my balls back. That was amazing. All right, gentlemen, let's fucking go. Oh, Klecko, you went on a whole thing last week about Deion. Fuck Deion. Deion's this, Deion's that.
I didn't
don't
say
like him.
Fuck Deion.
Well, you might have. You might have. Second-hand, third-hand story.
Game.
How about what he did going in there? Obviously doing what he did. His whole team was pumped. He's got a free pass now to say and do what he wants, because what he kind of did going into a team that was in the national championship last year. What were they 17 going in on their own backyard in a shootout, 45-42. And it's not like, they got a pick six or they picked up a fumble. They had two special team touchdowns. It was a solid showing. Now, maybe he needs more dogs on D, but man, he's got a pretty good team.
That's the Big 12, right? Like you're not going to see defense in the Big 12 just because of the way the offense is spread it out, and that's the way they play. But all right, I was wrong. I mean, at least for 1 week, I was wrong, and I'll eat crow, right? I mean, holy shit, did they look like they were for real? I mean, his Louis bags came with him, and they looked good. They did, and his son was unbelievable. I mean, I saw earlier this week that he's still not one of the top guys for the Heisman. How not? I mean, he threw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. How's he not the top guy right now?
147 QB rating. He was 38 for 47, 510 yards.
Hey, but they're only going to win 3 games this season, apparently, according to Vegas.
And not one person. Pat McAfee had him winning. He went out. He said he put the flag down. Said they'd win. A pretty unbelievable performance, though.
They were 21-point dogs. I mean, what was their money line? 10-1 just to win.
21-point dogs, and how about the kid that played 110 snaps? I can't remember his name off Travis Hunter. In the Texas Heat, looked like he could have played another 50 snaps. Didn't look like he was even tired after the game. And then Deion this week was saying he's the best receiver and the best D-back in college football. I mean, look, like I said, I can admit when I was wrong. I don't maybe love the way he's going about it afterwards. I don't. But I mean, that's the thing. If you walk the walk, you get to talk the talk, and I got to shut the fuck up and just say, hey, you're right. I mean, that's the bottom line in this whole thing.
And the worst thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, we've seen a lot of Belichick coaches underneath the tree go out on their own and not have the same kind of success, right?
Not even a little bit.
Belichick,
right?
Not even, I was being nice, right? I mean, I won a ring there, so I'm being nice, right? So it didn't even come close to having the same kind of success. Are you scared what college football can do right now with other universities? The president who doesn't know dick about football is going to sit there. Oh, you should do the same thing. Cut the whole team. I mean, can you do that? Is that like correct to do that? You're throwing kids out. Deion brought 50 new kids in and shipped out the other half. What is that going to do? You talk about the portal, but that's ridiculous.
Not one coach has the cachet that Deion has, right? Not one coach has the, what he can promise you, what he can say to you when you're in those meetings. Maybe Nick Saban, but it's not like he's going to have to go out and do this, right? But again, not one coach in the NCAA, except maybe Nick Saban, can go out and say these type of things that Deion Sanders is saying and get a whole team to flip over in really, 8 months? Not even 7 months, right? That's what he did this whole thing in. No one else can do what he's doing. Absolutely not.
So are you Team Prime? Are you Team Prime now?
I'm not. Look, I never hated Deion as a person. I just didn't like the way he was going about this, right?
Yeah, but I spread the rumor that you did, so it's out there.
I think we got to address the fact that not only did they win that game outright, now their game next week it's got like some of the most action ever recorded on a football game, especially on a Tuesday. Like they said that they've already got more money risked on the Colorado spread than all of the NFL Week 1 spread bets like so far in Vegas.
I hope he takes Matt Rule behind the woodshed and whoops his ass. I really don't care. I hope Colorado beats the shit out of Nebraska.
Yeah, that coach is not going to be around longer there.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, but fuck him for the way he left Temple.
Do you have beef with Matt Rule?
Yeah, I don't like the way he left Temple. It wasn't that he left Temple, right? I get that he was going to leave Temple, right? Someone's going to offer him $5-6 million a year, right? Like that's stupid money. He's going to get to go to Baylor. He's going to get to do his thing down there at a bigger university, Big 12. I get it. It was just the way he acted, like nobody at Temple gave him his shot, So he left kind of on bad terms with me.
Do you think Dion could be a top 3 coach in college right now, or is that crazy to say?
It's week 1.
Yeah,
it is. But let's look about what he's done from then to week 1. You just said no one can do what he did.
Well, time out. So can he be? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's trending that way, clearly. And he's going to have every league. I mean, the shit he's going to pull up, this is going to be jammed down our throats now. I mean, it's everywhere. The announcers doing that game, I mean, I'm like, get your head out of his ass. I mean, I couldn't believe what was going on.
But you know what? Look, I motherfucked Dion last week, so I got to give it to him this week, right? Like, what he did in the span of 7 months, and it's not like this is the first time he's done it, right? He did it at Jackson State too, right? He did it there where he built a winner. He took that program and he made them what they were, right? It's not like this is just he just got lucky at Colorado because they're a Division I program. No, he did it at an HBCU as well, right? So like as much as it pains me, I got to give the guy a lot of credit for what he's doing right now.
Unless, of course, you're still back there. At least, where is he? Where did he go? Jackson State? From? Yeah. I'm sure they don't like him too much. Look what he did to that place.
What happens if Nebraska just shuts him out this weekend? Then we're just back on
listen,
our ass.
I love Dion the player. I like Dion doing. He's not a bad guy, but it was getting bad though. I didn't like the way his messaging. He seemed always wanting to be in front. But then I realized I watched him have this press conference afterwards. He's like, listen, I won a Super Bowl. I won a World Series. I can give 3 shits. It's about the kids. He starts saying all the right things. So I think what he did is incredible.
Every time you hear him speak in the locker room or speak to his kids, it's truth, right? Like he does not treat them like kids. He treats them like men. Like with that first meeting he walked into to Colorado, that part I didn't hate. I didn't hate that at all, right? When he was like, yo, you were 1-11 last year. I can't win with you. I'm bringing in guys that I can win with. I was fine with that, right? Like you're speaking to these kids like they're men, and I'm okay with that because in 2-3 years these guys we're calling kids are going to be men. So I'm fine with him. But when you hear him actually talk to his team, fire his team up, like you don't hate those messages, right? You don't hate those.
I'm going to watch every one of those games that I possibly can. I'm hooked. I know there's a lot of people want to see him fail, but I like this story. I just hate what it's going to do to maybe college football because everyone's going to try to do the same thing. I got a question that's open to the boys. And think about this for a second, because on paper, it's an easy one. Then you realize maybe it's not. What would you want your wife, girlfriend, or partner to love as much as you love? Could be anything, right? I mean, if my wife, for example, loved fishing like I loved fishing. She wakes me up at 4:30. Oh my, let's go. I got sandwiches. I got the worms. Let's fucking go. Cooler's packed. I got coffee. I got a full can of Copenhagen for you, or Zins rather. Excuse me, because I quit 8 years ago. He's like, let's fucking hit it. I'd be like, all right, awesome. But then I'm gonna realize that maybe I don't fucking want her to love fishing.
This was your thing, fishing. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not fucking good. I don't know what my answer would be, so I'm gonna leave it open to the floor because I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know. I almost like it the way it is.
Well, why would you pose the question then?
Because it seemed like a smart thing.
It's not though. That's your thing, right?
Gotti, what would you want your wife to be?
And put me on the spot first. Is sex okay to say?
Anything's okay.
It's a great thing.
Maybe you didn't hear the introduction. This is it.
Anything.
No, definitely not golf. Just because that's my time. We did play tennis together. That was cool. I mean, she really doesn't even like sports that much. I mean, she came to all my games. Maybe I guess she could just like sports in general more. She doesn't watch any football on TV. She doesn't care one bit.
Red Ryan, if your girl likes gambling like you do, leave her.
I for sure thought he was going to say like rom-coms or something like simple. I thought that's what Gotti's going to go with. I think that the answer's got to be sports because then you can just, I mean, it makes it easier for her to understand why you're gambling on a Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m.
or drinking heavily or whatever.
Like come Thursday of March Madness, she'll understand why you're cracking a beer at 11 a.m. to get excited for the first 32 games today. Like that's a holiday, right? Some people have Labor Day, some people have Memorial Day. Most men like March Madness, you know. Like
so what? You and your girlfriend are gonna sit there and drink beers and gamble on March
pass
Madness all day
by 4 p.m. out fucking cold.
Maybe it doesn't have to look like that. Maybe it's just she's excited to just be the person who picks you up from the bar. You know,
to be your Uber driver. Yeah,
she likes how much you enjoy it, right? Because
man, that's coming from the heart, man. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, that was deep. That was deep. Cal, what do you got, man?
You know, in the perfect world, I feel like if I was like, hey, honey, throw me a Zin, and we each throw a Zin in together, I'd be like, I think I found the one.
So, Christ. All right.
Really?
So if she loves Zins as much as me, I feel like we could really like become something. We pop them in together, we sit there, we talk. I'd be perfect with that.
You're both on the roller coaster of life. I like it.
Yeah.
So let's recap. You want your girl to dip.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Little white.
right? I mean,
Right.
am I the only one seeing
More-
that?
I think
More
that the
like-
setting
You want to
was-
have a nice dinner with your girl, but hey, you got a
Yeah,
Zin? I got one.
What's
Okay.
the setting? He sounds like he wants to just sit on a couch and just pop a lip
Keeps it in
together.
her purse. She keeps it in her purse. I'm like, yo, I need one. Throws it, catch it, throw it in, throw it right back at her. She catches it, throws it back in the purse. See you in an hour. Do it again. I find that perfect.
See you in an hour. So you guys
All right.
go your separate ways for the hour.
I'm gonna see how that. I'm gonna see how
Reconvene.
that one ages. We'll see how that one ages. That's not gonna age well. Ryan, what do we got? Give me the loot, man. We got a big week. A lot of things going on. Introduce it. Tell us what to expect moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we talked about it. This is probably the best time of the year. We stopped watching just baseball on the television. We've got preseason.
You watch
wrapping up.
baseball?
Well, I mean, on some days there's just not much else to do, right? So, you know, you can only go outside so often in the summer. You know, my skin can only handle
You
so
can't.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, listen, this is the time of the year. This is when we get to crack open an ice cold laptop, click a few buttons, and all of a sudden on a Saturday night, you're down a couple $100. Life is good. That's where we're at in the season right now. We got week 1 of NFL. We got week 2 of college football coming up. And we've got a lot of former NFL guys on here. And we got the other guys, we're going to call it. So I think we're going to do a little gambling over the course of this season. And I think that probably an opening segment should always be like, what was the latest crazy thing that happened in the world of sports gambling? Whether it's a bad beat, a last second cover, like what's the crazy talk of the week, right? And I think that probably the first one we should openly discuss would be Penn State versus West Virginia. So West Virginia was a 21-point dog. They had done the job that you need an underdog you needed your team to do. They were I think they were down 14 with 10 seconds left. I think that, okay, so Penn State's driving the ball. Penn State's up 2 scores, up 16.
They went for it on 4th and 3.
They went for it on 4th and 3, which would effectively mean that the next play is you get it, you kneel the ball, the game's over. You're already up 2 scores, right? Penn State, who was at home, they decide, no, we're not done yet. With 20 seconds left, let's run a couple more plays. They hiked the last play with the clock running. They hiked the ball again with 6 seconds left to run it in for a touchdown. Last second cover. Does James Franklin have action on the game? Open discussion.
I got one quick thing I'm going to say to you. Wait. Josh, then you jump right back in. Ryan, us football players say they snapped the ball. They didn't hike the ball. They didn't.
That's fair.
Right?
Hey, listen.
Hike the ball. He sounded like
Listen.
my wife.
In my world, I saw a plus go to a minus.
Yeah,
and that was all that mattered, right?
Vocabulary went out of your fucking head.
The P&L statement changed, and I did not like that, all right? And I just had to ask the question, what's going on here, boss? I mean, we're always talking about the health of the players. People could get hurt, and we're hiking balls like that? Snapping balls like that? Whatever you want to call it, man.
I don't blame them for doing it, though.
I mean, I can respect the shove it down their throat, no mercy, kill your opponent. I can understand that. If that's your philosophy throughout the whole season, sure. But I mean,
but that's more of a rankings thing.
You got to have a point differential. Right. It's not like the NFL where a win's a win. You got to strength of schedule, conference games, non-conference games.
You
got to go for it. You got to pour it on
handedly
them.
beat them already, though. You're already up 2 scores.
If the playoff committee's looking at that game at the end of the season, they say, "Oh, they only beat West Virginia by 16."
Is that ever actually a sentence, though?
Yeah, that's
beat
called
them by
style
16?
points.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's an actual term, style points, based
Yeah.
on.
They'll never be at fault because they have too many excuses. Hey, listen, that's a teaching moment, right? We might be in a situation this year where that's going to be crucial. We have to get to the line quick and throw a play in. So yeah,
Listen,
I don't care
it's
about
just
it.
my job to ask the questions. I'm just asking the questions.
Hey, a lot of people were pissed off, though. I'm sure.
And listen, and I guess if I'm gonna say that, I should also mention my team, Kentucky. We did have a last-second cover on ourselves, I believe. I wasn't watching; I was golfing, but I saw my thing go from a negative to a positive there. So there is a little law of averages, but the question was asked. James Franklin allegedly does not have money on the game. I will be watching his tendencies throughout the rest of the season, though. Something to pay attention to. Something to keep an eye
report
on.
him to the NCAA assholes.
He made Lute's list.
At the same time, I could use this. I can use this to be like, oh, he likes to gut him at the end. Live bet him for another score last couple of minutes. There's a lot of different angles to each one of these problems. All right, let's ask this question, though. We are a show of 3 former Super Bowl champions, and then 4, we'll call them the other guys. We live in a world where gambling is becoming much more normalized, like it always should have been from the beginning. But we're in an era where you guys can gamble now. So we're going to ask the question, how well do Super Bowl champions know their former teams? So, Josh, we're going to have you pick the Steelers every single spread, every single over-under this season. We're going to be releasing these episodes on Thursdays, so you'll have the lines out before the show, before the games actually go on. So, Josh will be picking the Steelers, Klecko will be picking the Eagles, and then Gotti will be picking from the Patriots. So, I think we should jump into week 1 here. We got the Steelers playing the 49ers at home. Steelers are underdogs, plus 2.5, with an over-under of 41. So, Josh, what happens to your former team?
They're going to go 1-0, right? Nick Bosa, he's a coin toss. Mr. Irrelevant, he's a coin toss. Health-wise, I love everything. I love everything that the Steelers are doing. They had a great preseason, and I know it's just preseason. There's some things you can't take away from it, and there's some things you can take away from it. We talked about the points that they scored and points that they didn't score. They had the fewest points scored this preseason. That doesn't mean much, but it gives me a vibe, because at Klecko, as you know, that's something that doesn't mean shit to you on paper, but you see how everyone's playing. That shows depth. That shows everyone's on the same page, and you're humming. And it was by a lot. And obviously, I love the running game. I love Pickett. I think Pickett's got 4 or 5 weapons, and I think the O-line's great, and they can run the ball. If you can throw the ball and have good, a great O-line and run the ball, they have tight ends. It's not even, they're underdogs. Yeah, they're 2 underdogs. I'll go Steelers, and
over under points or no points.
That's a great question, because I'm scared of that one. Because again, it's the first game of the season, so everything's not going to be clicking.
Hey, it's okay to be scared, though. It's week 1.
San Fran's the best. San Fran arguably has the best defense in the NFL. I mean, you can make that case. So I will go Steelers under. No, check
Steelers
that.
plus
Steelers
2.5 and the under. Wait, over or under?
Yeah, we're going over. So that way, the next show I could say I said under. We have both on both recorded. So I just had
cover it all.
The transition there was 49ers have a really strong defense. Over. All right, let's go. Klecko, what are we thinking with the? Oh, actually, we got a Patriots versus Eagles this week.
Right.
So
you want me to go
it's
first? Okay.
I mean, honestly, we should just be flipping a coin, really. But yeah, you guys both got to pick a spread pick and an over/under pick. So what do y'all think?
What's the spread?
Maybe just fight against one another.
I have
Eagles,
this +4.
Yeah, let's see it. What was the picture I sent? Is it 4 now?
So it's 4. Look.
All right, so Eagles are favored by 4. It's in New England now.
And it's Tom
Over-under is
Brady
45.
Day.
It's Tom Brady Day?
It is Tom Brady Day. They're honoring him. But here's what I'll tell you. Look, I love Bill. I think he's the best coach ever. There's no doubting that. I know people debate the chicken versus the egg, but until he shows me he can put together a good roster since Tom left and put together a good coaching staff. I know B.O.B.'s back. I know they're going to, I know they'll look a lot better than last year, but the Eagles are the best roster in the NFL. Like it or not, they just are.
Hands down.
Should have won the Super Bowl last year. I know they didn't, but they should have won the Super Bowl. Sorry, producer Ryan. But look, I mean, until Bill can show me that he can put together a good team, and the Eagles show me that they're going to fall down after what they've put together, I'm taking that with the Eagles all day. And what's the over-under?
45.
45.
Ooh, I'll take the over.
Points.
Yep.
Kleck, you better watch your mouth talking about Bill Belichick like that, okay? He's going to send Ernie in to slit your throat in the middle of the night for
I'm going to just be dead tonight? Yeah.
forever doubting him. I'll say this. The Eagles didn't play anybody in preseason. I read somewhere that last year teams that didn't play anybody in preseason were like 3-8 opening week. If there's ever a chance for a team to falter, it is opening weekend. Everybody still believes that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's coming and he's going to sprinkle that magic that he's done 10,000 times right onto Mac Jones' tiny little head. And they're going to go in and they're going to shock the world. And the Patriots have been nothing but terrible in the first couple games the last couple years. I think this is the time they right the ship. The NFL needs Bill Belichick to be good, I think, to compete with some of these AFC teams. I'm taking the Patriots, and I might even sprinkle a money line in there.
God, give me goosebumps over
I don't
here.
even think it's close.
I'm over here.
You're probably right, but I felt pretty good about my speech right there.
No, that was incredible what you just said.
And I'm taking the under.
I'm looking at.
Yeah, Lou has a
alternate
cigarette in his
lines.
mouth. Oh, he'd love that.
Can I get a pulse check over here?
I mean, you're not going to tell me Bill's not one of the best, 2-3 best coaches of all time, but he doesn't have the roster to compete with the Eagles right now. I don't know if he has the roster to compete with the AFC East right now. And I just think this is going to be a bad opening day for them.
What about the Super Bowl hangover? What about, all that kind of stuff? They didn't play in the preseason. They could be a little rusty.
No shot.
Jalen Hurts got a bag. Maybe he's feel himself a little bit.
They also have a new offensive and defensive coordinator, right?
Look, the one thing I know about Jalen Hurts, he's like that. All right, that dude is steady. He doesn't get too up. He doesn't get too down. He doesn't care about a Super Bowl hangover, right? He's I think he's a true MVP candidate this year, and I think he comes out.
This is what we need. This is what the world needs. We need to bring together the actual guys in the locker room, and then the guys who are coaching from their couches on Sundays. I mean, honestly, these two groups of people can break Las Vegas. I really do think so, and that's why we're gonna go in. That's why we're gonna go into this next thing, which is gonna be the 3 of you guys versus the 4 of us. The 4 of us have come together. We've scavenged the board, and we've picked what we think might be the play of the week. But you guys got to come together first and make your pick first, so we make sure it's not the same one.
Play of the week.
Play of the week. Any spread, any over/under, any team on the board. But this is going to be a season-long effort. Do the guys in the locker room know the board better than the guys on the couch?
I'm looking. Okay, my team. Our team. I'm going to go Commanders, Cardinals. That's a joke game.
No, God.
Is that another preseason game?
Wait. Can we cut that? Can we cut that?
Arizona sucks. Arizona's the worst team on earth.
Damn it.
That's not a lock?
That was our pick.
Shut up. They haven't picked that up. They haven't picked yet.
What are the odds? There's literally 32 bets out there.
So
Arizona's the worst team.
All right, what's the spread?
-7.
Well, I think we might have already skipped to the third segment, which is going to be the 7 of us coming together and dropping a nuclear missile on one of these bets.
So I stopped that. Hey, that was your pick then, yeah?
Listen, like us in the business, we like to call this a drone strike, okay? The old Obama administration, okay? You crack open a nice cold sports book and you click the button and then you enter the money and then you hammer it. And then you check your account on Monday. But I think it sounds like Washington -7 against the absolutely abysmal Cardinals is the play of the week.
That's the nuke of the week?
I like Jacksonville over the Colts. I think the Colts might have a hard time.
I think they suck this year, yeah.
Okay, so there was a couple we had on the board out there, but it sounds like Washington's the group pick. Unless we want to talk about a couple other ones. I personally like points. Week 1, we don't know what's going to happen, but we know one thing. They want to score points. We know they want to impress the crowds, impress the coaches, like really put it all on the line. They're coming out
playing
playing
what
for
they want to
real
do,
money.
but again, this
Listen.
isn't the time they're clicking.
This is
I
the
like the
only
spread.
time
Well,
I
I
will
think
ever put the Commanders in anything. And I hate saying Commanders. But anyway, that's
gonna
the
change
only
it
time
again?
I'll ever bet with them.
Aren't they going to change it again?
They did say they were going to change it again. Yeah.
It was getting confusing, the 3 name
Yeah,
changes in the last 2 years.
I backed out.
All right, so we got
I like Baltimore
ahead.
hammering the Texans too.
Baltimore hammering the Texans. I personally liked the Chargers and the Dolphins to score some points. I think the Tua has a bone to pick with the community that was dissing him because he had one or two concussions last season. Like, all due respect to his health.
He has a message,
course.
but if this was like fucking golf, I'd say sure, I'll bet on him. But
Dude.
it's a team game, so
Give me Tyreek Hill for 12 touchdowns on Sunday.
So what are we agreeing on? What can we agree? We have to bet something.
Wait. We need the 3 of you guys to decide what
Yeah,
your
you guys
pick
got
is
to pick
first.
one, but they picked the Washington one. So.
No,
we
they
picked-
didn't pick. Josh just spoke.
Yeah, we picked it just to take it away from you dickheads.
Yeah. So now that's
Yeah.
off the board. You have to go with a
Yeah.
different one.
All right,
No,
that was
we have
reverse
to go- that
psychology,
doesn't make
because that was our
sense.
second.
It
that
makes
was our
great
second.
sense.
Shouldn't have
That
let
is
us go
horseshit.
first.
Yeah,
Listen,
we're doing
hey,
this by
Brock.
age and height.
Yeah, Brock, we got to do the respectful thing here. They got the titles. We don't have the titles yet.
Age and height.
Next season they'll go second.
I would love for you to see our group message and how big of a lock that fucking thing is. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's tough. But you know what? We bounce back. Let's be honest here. I'm not betting just one game on Sunday. I'm going to bet most of the games on Sunday. So let's go with the Chargers and the Dolphins to score more than 51. Is that right?
Huh, that was our second pick.
You're telling me that Justin Herbert. Tell me that Justin Herbert and Steelers are just going to just duke it out. It'll be 27-27 by the end of the third. No question.
All right. Let's see who wins.
So it's locked.
Maybe don't quote me on that part, but that over's hit. Okay, so let's be very clear here. The actual group, and so let's be clear what we're actually doing here. The 7 of us are putting $100 into the pot beginning of this season. We're going to start out with a 50% of our bankroll bet, which is going to be a $350 bet on the Washington Commanders to beat the
Arizona, whatever the hell
Arizona
they are.
Cardinals. There we go.
They're
So
still
we're
the
putting-
Cardinals, Josh.
We're putting
Who knows?
300.
Who
We're
knows?
putting
You gotta be
$350 on
politically
that.
correct. Cardinals, maybe that's bad now. Anyway,
We got $350 on the Commanders, which is wild that that's how we're going to start our season out on Washington. But it is what it is. We're going to have we'll be like $350 to win less than that. So we'll be over 1,000 when we get to next week. The idea is we're never going to run out of money. If we ever do run out of money, it's because we made a bunch of poor decisions back-to-back weeks.
Gotti will
have
just
that,
give
right?
us more.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we tap into the old retirement funds, if we need to.
and the proceeds are going to go to a nice vacation. All right, a nice get together, and obviously upgrade our equipment.
There we go. I think that once we get Cal a laptop, that'll be a big start.
Hey,
And a shirt that fits.
And give that back
Episode's
to his
brought
girl.
you by Modelo.
You got your dicks.
hey, I'm not even thinking about that. What I'm thinking about right now is this sleeper pick that I just want to throw on record and say I said it and we can come back to it. I got the Detroit Lions beating the Chiefs straight money line at like plus 255 or something. I think Super Bowl hangover past few years. I think the Lions are coming through. And this doesn't have to go against anything. I'll personally be betting on it, but I just want that stated. Lions are winning week 1.
What's with
Well
this?
done.
I've heard a lot of buzz this week. What's with this Chiefs hate? I mean, the greatest player on the planet. There's no
That's
hangover.
because
They're the best
the
coach.
Kelsey news
I'm going
today.
off week 1 vibes. I'm going off old Super Bowls. They're tired. The Lions are juiced. I'm telling you. I just can I have an opinion?
No, I just
I-
I've
Hey,
heard it.
listen, time out, Urkel. You don't have to have your voice cracked like that, dude. Listen, you're right. Stick to that, though. Don't
Lions
be.
money line. I just throwing it out there.
So Klecko, who tackles fucking trees, who comes from Hall of Fame balls, he has a little rebuttal against you, and then your voice cracks. I'm just saying that's funny.
Can I have an opinion?
No, I've seen it a lot this week.
Started
and
with the
it's-
shirt.
I didn't
Yeah.
start that. Your dad did.
Listen, you should be proud to be wearing a T-shirt of the #1 beer in America right now. Are you kidding me?
Like I said, I wore this in honor of Buffett. Honor of Buffett.
Warren.
Well, listen, that's a great little segue.
Just
So
kidding.
again, it's a guy show. We established that early, and whenever we have some fallen guys, we like to talk about it and kind of have a couple words. So, yeah, we're going to go Jimmy Buffett, who passed away at 76, and Bob Barker, which at 99. Oh, that sucks, right? You just want to get to that 100. But, yeah, that's a big loss, right?
He went without going over $1.
Happy Gilmore. Bob Barker, I liked him a lot. Jimmy Buffett, you'll have anyone outside of this room, anyone who doesn't listen to this podcast, they'll talk about his little political stance and all that shit. That's not what happens here. We talk about Jimmy Buffett, the music he made, the vibe he gave. That's what I'm going to miss. I can say I don't love his music. I liked his music, but I loved when it was on because it gave that vibe, and I liked what he was about. The guy hasn't worn shoes in 47 years.
I love his music. Love his music. It's fucking always on in my house. I had never been so sad as I was on Saturday morning when I woke up. Riding the high off a big high school football win on Friday night, and that's the bullshit I wake up to on Saturday morning. God love him. God rest his soul. I mean, just his fucking story, right? How he went down to the Keys, and somebody was like, dude, I don't know what you are or what we have, but we have something here. We have a brand with you. And it was that one song, dude, and it was Margaritaville. And they literally built a brand around one song and made that dude a billionaire. And not only did he make everybody happy, his fucking music was awesome. Like you said, Josh, no shoes for 40 years. The guy was what we all want to be when we're done living. Like, that's what we want to be, man.
There's no doubt. And the thing that I hate the most, you're going to have a bunch of people that like to get caught up in the moment and say, oh, I remember I was down at the Keys and he just kind of came in with a guitar and said, hey, you mind if I play a couple songs? And they'll lie and say that story. The same way they lied and say they saw Wilt Chamberlain score 100 points. There was like 37 people in the gym, but I've heard over 5,000 people tell me they were there. Same with Bruce Springsteen in Jersey. Everyone said, oh, I was at the Jersey Shore. Bruce came in. He fucking killed a couple sets and left. It's bullshit. But yes, a big loss to that. Deeply
love you,
missed.
Jimmy.
It's a sad segment, but it happens, so we like to talk about it.
What's the favorite song from Jimmy?
Margaritaville, Hamburger Paradise. I mean,
cheeseburger in paradise. But that was
breathe
close.
in, breathe out.
I'm
move
healthier
on.
now. I'm healthier.
That's my song.
Yeah.
To throw it to Bob Barker, when we at the Patriots in the lunchroom, Price is Right was on all the time. It was like the only TV they would let us watch when they weren't putting old highlights of who were playing the next week. And the guys would get the remote, turn it to Price is Right. Usually came on about 11 o'clock, I think.
And everyone would say at the same time, the price is wrong, bitch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they would be playing, what's the little ladder game? The
yodeler. Love that guy.
Guys like Randy Moss screaming at him, no, there's too much money. I mean, it was just great vibes, good times. I'll always remember that. And obviously, Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore was like one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, we're going to keep our happy vibes going. Cal, listen, man. Yeah, and so the segment, let me walk you through the segment for everybody here. So Cal's obviously, as you noticed, he's our college student. He's over there in Tallahassee enjoying the life we all wish we can do right now. We brought him to just trying to, hey, check out our classics. This is what we were brought up on. These are movies that made us who we are today. We're going to make you see them because obviously you have not. So we want some input. So classic movies from are we going to call you Spider? From Cal, Little C, Young Buck. We'll come up with a nickname for you. But Cal, what do you got for us this week?
I'm starting this week out with a disclaimer because
Fucking shocker.
I
hate you.
I'm a few classics in, and I've said my piece, and it's gone over so poorly. But this week, it's The Breakfast Club, and the ratings that I gave the other movies, I'm changing because this one broke the scale in the worst way. I mean, so The Breakfast Club, I give a quote.
Here we go.
Thoughts.
Here we go.
First of all, I just want to say.
Time out. Keep in mind, you gave Goodfellas a 6. You gave Shawshank a 4.
No.
He gave Shawshank a 6.
I gave The Rounders a 6.8, and I'm changing that to a 7 flat. I gave Shawshank a 6.
Go back.
No, because what I just saw made me reconsider everything. Shawshank is a 6 now, also is a 7. And I gave Goodfellas an 8. I'm not changing that.
All right. Now, welcome to the dance. Okay. Breakfast Club.
All right.
This is gonna hurt.
I watched that movie, and I 100% was convinced I was in detention with them. I was like whenever the teacher walks in there and he's like, wake up, I had to wake up. I mean, he woke me up. It was, I was bored out of my mind. So I'm just going to get into the quotes that I think are the classic quotes.
Fucking lasers and rockets going off every 20 seconds? What's the matter with you? Like, you can't follow a movie.
We need Talking Ape.
I followed them around the whole school. That's like, I followed it. I mean, like, okay. So the quotes, first one, this is a 2-part quote. So I have to ask a question and then I'm coming in with the next one before you say, I forgot it. I didn't. Does Barry Manilow know you raid his wardrobe? I'm like, I'm sure that's funny, but who's Barry Manilow? So I kind of half laughed because I'm like, is it funny? But I'm sure it is. Then that follows into, don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns. I'm like, all right, I've heard that. Gotta be a classic line. Definitely heard that. I don't know if this is a classic line. Did you slip her the hot beef injection? I thought that was
classic
good.
right here.
Yeah. I mean, the hand symbols, he was on that. I was like, I wrote it down. It was pinky and pointer finger like this.
Did you draw it?
Did you draw it?
I made sure to get that.
You were like
so one part, whenever I told my dad that I was going to watch this, he's like, this was a snapshot of me in high school. So I kept that in mind watching. So I have to ask you, were there times during high school where everybody out of nowhere would just start harmonizing a whistle? Like, is that what you guys did back in the day? Because I must be missing something. Can you? Okay, so the answer is yes.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Thank you for clarifying. But I mean,
Didn't
this
expect
is
that.
Yeah, me neither. That kind of really threw me.
So what grade? What number are you throwing on this bad boy?
Wait, I still have some things to say before I drop the rate. That's the
please
the
do.
Hey, Bender
Please
would kick
do.
your ass.
He would.
Could you take Bender?
In a fight? Yes.
He's a swell guy. He'd beat the shit out of you.
He's a swell guy.
So
People respect him.
all right, I'm just trying to find exactly. So you're telling me they all sit in a circle, they cry, they call each other a bitch, and then they just harp about their hardships. And that's like, where is the classicness in this? Like, what am I missing? Like, asking a friend, what am I missing?
Like I don't think you ever get the real life lessons in these movies, right? Like this
All right,
one
I think
was.
I do. I think I do.
This
one
isn't the
was,
10 fucking commandments, right? This is a fucking movie we watched growing up as a kid. It was a snapshot. It was clicks. When I went to high school, it was all clicks.
Don't judge a book by the cover. That's the whole point of this fucking movie, right? That's what this was.
I have a problem with that.
We need you to reach deeper, Cal. We need
Okay,
you to
I'm
reach
going to. Don't judge a book by the cover. You have the weird girl suddenly walk out in a wedding gown. She changed her whole cover. What do you say?
They brought her out.
She got judged by her cover and didn't like who she was in the end. And then they all just get married happily ever after and they're dating. I'm like, come on, guys.
No, they're not. Fuck. What's his next movie? We got to give him a movie that he can. I mean, what's
I told you what your
Lion
next
King?
movie was.
I think we should give him like the Avatar
Town.
movie. The
Town.
Avatar movie.
Snatch.
Just
He'll like
comes back
Snatch. You gotta like Snatch.
He won't like Snatch because he won't be able to follow it. The Town.
Can we give him old school, please? Can we give him old school?
The
No,
Town
'cause I
is
don't-
2010. That's literally my era. I should be telling you to watch The Town. Granted, I haven't watched it, but like,
I think maybe we go with Shrek. Maybe something simple.
You shouldn't be
Ballers.
telling me to watch anything ever.
Yeah, I mean,
Pulp
listen to
Fiction.
that.
Can we give him Pulp Fiction?
He won't be able to follow it.
We're gonna get an official rating on a scale from 1 to Planet of the Apes, or 1 to a classic.
Now wait. We
What
have
would
to
you rate
level
Breakfast
set.
Club?
We have to level set what Planet of the Apes was.
Clearly, it's number 3. He says.
Cal called Planet of the Apes a
Well, the fourth
classic.
classic, the fourth classic hasn't come out yet.
Right,
So
but it'll be classic. You'll see.
This is classic number 3.
Mark Wahlberg will probably be in it again.
So on a scale from 1 to Planet of the Apes number 3, what do you rate
I
this
will
movie?
miss the podcast if the fourth one drops on that night. I'm sorry, boys. We're going to have to either reschedule or I'm out because I'm not missing that for the world. Opening night in theaters, will not miss that.
Yeah, you got to get your ape outfit on.
You will be the only guy in that theater.
You probably like the stupid monkey with the big weird head.
Yeah, he's like a Trekkie, but with Planet of the Apes. He'll be there with his little fucking ape outfit.
So wrong. But all right, so The Breakfast Club, my rating. After feeling like I just watched a high school project, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 disrespectfully, honestly. That was just, I watched it with someone and they left halfway through the movie and I'm like, dude, I don't blame you. I just have to do this. So
Fuck
4 out
that
of 10.
kid. What if, fuck him. No one cares
Time out.
about your
The person
friends
that left,
watch it with you.
it was obviously someone your age, yes?
It was.
Okay, so that means Stugatz to us.
The two combined attention span was like the length of like one text message, one
You're
TikTok
like a
video.
goldfish.
All right, the
What
next
about
movie,
like Tropic Thunder or something like that?
There we go.
like
The Town.
Point Break was a good movie, wasn't it?
He won't like Point Break either because it's too old. I'm telling you, watch The Town. That's it.
CGI has changed.
Big
The younger
Lebowski, does that
generation.
do anything? Well, fuck him. These are classics.
Kingpin?
My father made me watch like Cool Hand Luke and Dirty Dozen, and that was like fucking old school. They used to just draw it on paper and they flick it real quick and you get to watch it. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. It was that fucking bad, and I thought it sucked. So I can respect your opinion, although it hurts a little bit. So we got to get you a good movie that you can at least come back with a decent rating to show you that Planet of the Apes isn't a classic.
We should recap it though. Let's list the number of movies. Let's list all the movies that he thinks is quote worse than Planet of the Apes. Rounders, The Breakfast Club. What was the first one? Shawshank Redemption.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. He thinks that all three of those are worse than Planet of the Apes.
I mean, really wrap your fucking head around that.
Saying it that way is just mind bending.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan.
Just,
You're absolutely right. That's the only way we can put it in any kind of context.
I mean, that's like, not to be hurtful. I was doing a little bit of research, but that's effectively like saying I'd rather play in the CFL than the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Sorry, Josh.
but I mean,
The fuck, I played in the NFL. I agree. Fuck him. I mean, listen, I love him to death, but I mean that hurts me a little bit. I will say this though, not that I have to stick up like a dad does. He at least has a '70s music repertoire. He has an old solo music, so I saved him there.
If we could somehow like not get demonetized for like playing songs or like however that works, I have the greatest old school music playlist that like I could play at a 58-year-old's third marriage and I would be the shit. Like I've got it.
You can't just throw that out.
I remember those. Klecko has a
earn
good
this.
playlist too. We would go back and forth after games as we passed the bottle around. We would always go back. Hey, this one, does this do anything? Yeah, that's a good one. Here, this one. So yeah, Klecko's got the same ear.
Oh yeah.
He's got the same ear. Brock has that ear. Look at him, that fucking guy. Yeah, Brock's got the same ear as well. Red Ryan, give me a quick recap. Give me that minute. Give me your thoughts on the Ryder Cup. Give me who got snubbed. Do you like the roster? I like it. I like the coach's decisions. Who do you think got snubbed? Who should not be on that team?
I mean, overall, first off, like the USA has not won a Ryder Cup in Europe in I think it's 29 years now. So this is a big locker room mentality is obviously a big focus when you're going overseas like that. The controversial pick on the USA team was definitely Justin Thomas. Not had a good year, but he's got a great Ryder Cup record, great match play record, great locker room guy, as they say. They picked Ricky. The guy who got snubbed on the USA team was Keegan Bradley, which really sucks because Keegan's the man. He's a really energetic guy. He played in the 2012 Ryder Cup. It was iconic, him playing with Phil. He's that energy guy that would also be great for the locker room. Overall, I mean, it's gonna be a battle over there. On the European side, they actually made history. Ludwig Aberg. He's 23 years old. He literally turned pro in June. In June of this year, he turned pro. He's never played in a major championship in his entire life. He got picked to be on the Ryder Cup team for the European team. He's a stud. He's been claimed by many like famous coaches. All these big guys are like, okay, he could very well be one of the next stud players in the world, like top 10 player in the world. Overall, I mean, it's nerve-wracking because the Europeans have been obviously dominant on their soil. We're going in 2018 when we were in Paris. We were huge favorites, the USA. Not always a good bet because we haven't won there in 30 years, but if we're the favorites, that's obviously a little bit of mojo. Overall,
let's storm this fucker like Normandy. Fuck that.
I mean, listen, we're coming off one of the biggest Ryder Cup wins in history in 2021 at Whistling Straits. So in theory, like the USA locker room is at its strongest probably point in a long time. A lot of good energy in there. A lot of guys are buddies. You got Ricky Fowler back on the team. Gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, the Ryder Cup is one of the best events in all of sports, I think. Yeah. It's got tons of energy. It's loud over there. The Europeans, when I was there in 2018 , I think one of the most but this is cool though. One of the most bone-chilling things they do.
Ryan.
It's like 6 a.m. Like everybody's there. Their golf doesn't start for 2 hours, and these people are out there. They do this thing where they go poof, and they just all do it in unison. Like 50,000 people in the stands are just all doing this. It is electric. So the Ryder Cup will be a lot of fun this year. If I'm betting money,
what the fuck, really?
What have you done being a degenerate?
When you make your bet, go ahead.
I don't want to bet against the USA. But if I'm looking at value in terms of like again just history, the plus money on the European side might make sense. I personally like going the individual matchups. I love hammering the individual matchups. It's fun. You can have singles on Sunday.
Where the fuck are you putting your money?
We're trying to get there. We're trying.
Okay. The actual value play that I would go with would definitely be Brian Harman. I don't know what the line is yet, but Brian Harman to be the top USA player to have the most points on the team. That's where you get a lot more value. You'll probably get maybe in the 6 to 10 to 1 range there, I bet.
Hey, did you have Lithuania beating a fucking U.S. basketball team?
Listen, last week was
That's horse shit. That's
Lithuania?
An embarrassment.
It's embarrassing.
Oh, beating the USA? Oh, I thought you were talking about last week when I bet Egypt live money at 4 a.m.
That was a sound bet. That was smart. I know you did your homework and you did. That's brilliant. I'm talking about our basketball team where the game was made, where the game should always have a place to be where you win all the time. It should be a no-brainer. Lithuania.
I think that in general, any time that the United States of America loses as a team to any other country, it's pretty rough. Just overall from a branding perspective, probably. Yeah. Especially the dominant sporting country out there. But listen, this is a separate thing, but I think that we should have this staple on the show as well. Since we're doing this weekly right now, I think we need to have when I was back in college, we used to have the cup and cock of the week in our fraternity. It was a good story and a bad story, right? I think we should have one of those moments on this show. Obviously it's not that big of a deal in Klecko's eyes, but as a show on the rise, looking for a chicken sponsor, not a good showing from Raising Cane's today before the show. That's an unfucking believable moment in my opinion. You make me wait 20 minutes in a line when I order beforehand
and get it wrong.
Me? Listen, I think that we got to start addressing the growth of fast food chains. We're focusing on expansion to multiple cities. We're starting to forget the little guy while we got there in the first place. Raising Cane's got to the top of their chicken game by putting a lot of time and energy into the chicken, into the customer. Now they don't even care about the experience. You don't wait 25 minutes for fast food. You just don't do that. And listen, with Chick-fil-A coming out with the pimento cheese sandwich, Raising Cane's has got to step their game up. Listen. I'm actively seeking out a chicken sponsor for this show. It's just.
Are you ever in and out at Chick-fil-A though? Are you ever in and out? It takes fucking forever. You make chicken sandwiches.
But they make up for it though with politeness and hustle. They'll change your fucking tire, detail your car, and then you have your fucking sandwich. They're the nicest people on earth.
Maybe, but goddamn it, I don't want to wait in your weird fucking drive-through where there's 9 lines, people walking all over. I don't want to do that.
That's the problem. You don't go drive-through. You don't go drive-through. You
go in. I know.
Chick-fil-A is the Augusta National of fast food. You can do the mobile order. You can do curbside. You can do drive-through. Cane's is barely even opened up their app, right? You got a lot of different players in the game. You got the BK chicken wrap. You got McDonald's. This is always a staple. But listen, overall, again, back to this whole moment of unfucking believable moment. Bad showing on day one. Bad showing on day one from Raising Cane's today. I think we should open it up to what was the good thing that happened this week? What was a crazy thing to happen besides it would have been me getting a hole-in-one with you, Gotti, on Thursday last week. That would have been epic.
Hey, remember when you guys went golfing and didn't even fucking invite us? even just an empty invite. Like, I'm not going to show up. I'm not coming.
No shit.
But
Click, I'm going to go on Thursday. Do you want to come?
I'll get
I
back
can't
to
make
you.
it. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You asked Click and not me. My fucking bad. My bad.
Josh, would you like to come?
I'll see. Maybe. That'd be awesome. What time are you playing?
10.
Hit him with a text on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Hey, golfing tomorrow. You want to hop on a plane, come down
Even
here?
if it's an empty gesture, I just want it, right?
Yeah.
I want this chat group. I want this thing here. I want it to feel like we're family. And right now, I just feel like there's some little clique over here. We're gonna go golfing.
I was
we're
actively
gonna get Raising
texting you guys
Cane's.
while I was waiting in Cane's.
Yeah.
I was
No, you're
waiting. I
spot
was
on,
pissed. I
Klecko.
was time stamping it. Listen, I'm always in there. The only time I'm not in there is whenever I'm preoccupied with bullshit like that at Cane's. Like, I tell them, hey, like, what's going on?
Hey, when you were golfing, I have questions. Was there music? Do you have a speaker?
No, we have music.
All right.
Wait.
Yeah,
What's
no.
the point? Did you walk?
My son always steals my speaker, so it's always dead.
Okay, that's understandable.
No,
Ryan,
unacceptable.
how do you not have a fucking
music.
speaker? All right. That's the first part. Was anybody buzzed? Did anybody drink? Be honest. Don't you have to say yes to be cool. You're
it
already
was
in.
Thursday
You're
at
in.
like 11.
No, I had football practice later.
Yeah,
All right.
maybe,
So
maybe
no
it's
music,
best we miss this
no
one.
alcohol. Who drove out of you two?
Who drove? We both drove. We actually had.
You took two separate carts.
It was my. No, I drove. It was my course.
It turns out we actually have different cars too. I thought we would drive the same car.
To be fair, it was the first time that we met in person, and we wanted to get to know each other.
Yeah, we were just
That's
chilling.
okay. I get
I like
that.
that.
Hey, just
I
two
like
gals
that.
out in the course catching up. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Like Breakfast Club, getting to know each other.
And plus, we got paired up with a guy, Mark. He was delightful.
Yeah, and then we rated who we liked best on the podcast from 1 to Planet of the Apes.
It was good. It was a
That
good
was a good
time.
time. Ryan's a stick, though. He almost did a hole in one. It was pretty sick. He had, what, 3 or 4 birdies?
I had a pretty good. I mean, honestly, the first hole at his
He
golf
knows
course
the
is
answer. He
brutal.
won't fucking say it for like another
I
12
think I-
minutes.
He made an eagle.
He made an eagle, which was awesome. That was a
Two
big,
flexes.
just dropping your balls on the table as soon as you show up to the golf course. That felt good. I established my presence early. I felt good about that.
Yeah, that's clean.
We both wore bucket hats. That was sweet.
Okay, honestly, I should have led with that because that was I'm a bucket hat guy. Bucket hats are a culture. They protect the forehead,
you're
protect
right.
the ears. They're good for you.
They're a
Whoever
vibe.
says bucket hats suck, they're a huge vibe.
Yeah,
I've got like 5 bucket hats.
I can't pull that off because I'm not confident wearing it. Right? I feel like fucking Gilligan. I can't wear it.
You can pull it off. It's all
I don't
about
care. I'm Gilligan all day with that. I love a bucket hat. You can't. I won't fish without one. It's the greatest. And I have my go-to bucket hat.
That was big time energy. Both of us were wearing bucket hats. Mark was just left out. Felt bad for him. Honestly, I think that as a group we could come together. I mean, he was saying that Josh, you're a pretty good golfer. Klecko, have you ever played golf? Have you ever been a golfer?
Yeah, I golf a lot for work. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, Brock's. Hey, actually, I should probably give Brock a shout out. He sent me this pair of shoes, the square shoes, unbelievable.
Those things
And I
are
kept
great.
talking
Energy
about
from the
the
ground
shoes a
up.
lot.
I talked about the shoes a lot.
Does Cal golf?
Give me credit.
All
Cal, you
right,
golf?
this answer is gonna get you. I can't make it to the back 9 because it's too long for me.
It's Shawshank. Golfing's like
gotta send him
Shawshank.
to
I
like
got to
a
wake
camp.
him up at the turn to eat a fucking hot dog.
Dude, we got to send him like
2
a camp.
hours. 2 hours without TikTok's just too much. He just
I'm
has to get right back.
I'm
to
with
it.
Cal on this one. Golf does not need to be more than 10 holes.
Dude, but
Just
you're
don't-
treating it
Thank you.
wrong. You're treating it wrong. You got to be out there. It's literally the best escape in the world.
It's
You can go out
expensive,
there.
though.
I disagree.
It's so expensive.
I disagree.
Listen,
I don't
it's
have
not about the
disagree
money.
vehemently.
to play a course. And
It's not about
shit
the money.
bed.
It's about the experience. But the experience.
so you're
How
gonna
often
tell
can
me-
you go out there?
But it is
crack-
about the money. As a college student, it 100%. I'm not blowing
Hustle.
$70 on the
Hustle
green
harder.
to shoot one
harder.
into the water and high
You're
five
going
my
to tell
buddy.
me.
Go for the twilight rates then. Twilight rates at like after dark, right? The 4 p.m. rounds. I mean, listen. Have you ever brought a 6-pack to any athletic event and had a better time than playing golf? You can drink, you can smoke, you can listen to music.
But you
can
chose
vibe
not to
the
do any
entire
of
time.
those. You chose not to do any of those. So,
You're never going to convince me the golf course is better than the beach.
I won't fucking go to the course unless I have music. I got three fucking Zins. I have a 6-pack, perhaps a gummy, but definitely a little ripper, just in case in case I'm playing bad or in case I'm playing
little
good.
too?
Because I panic. If I have a good round going, I start to fucking panic. So I have to give myself a little something.
I do the same shit, Josh. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, here it comes.
And
Here we go.
The worst is when the other three guys won't fucking talk to you. Like you're a pitcher that has has a fucking no hitter going. They leave you alone by the fourth fucking inning. If I part of the first holes, no one talks to me. I'm like, guys, fuck, stop. Let's get high. Let's fucking drink. Let's fucking play golf. Tell me a story.
Why would they stop talking to you? Because you made a par?
They don't want to jinx it because I'll be like even after the first 4 holes, and then I shit the bed because I think I have a no hitter going.
You're approaching it with the wrong mentality. You got to approach it with the free living mentality. You got to approach it with the Jimmy Buffett mentality. Just go out there and have fun. That. Listen, go out there and play some golf. That's literally when you can go from being terrible to being not so terrible, right? There's a huge difference out there. Like hell, I played yesterday with my buddy. We played about a month ago. In that round, he shot a 142. 142.
Was he throwing it?
That was about a month ago, right? And so yesterday we go out, Labor Day, just working hard, 2-man scramble. This man goes. I mean, we didn't play the ball all the way through for him. The form that he showed up with just was simply a good attitude, just vibes. We did have music. We were drinking. He would have probably shot like 100. That's like a 25% increase. The guy, it's possible.
That's fucking horrible, though. I couldn't play with that. I mean,
it's
like when you weigh 500 pounds and now you're down to 420. Congrats, I guess. I mean, I guess.
Here's the thing. Who counts 142 shots? Don't you eventually just go, you know what?
Ryan does. You saw that.
I wish I had that scorecard. It was a busy scorecard. It was. It had a lot going on there.
Dude, how do you not have him pick up? Bring it over there. Drop out here where I am. Yeah, hey, that's good. And he's like in the bunker. Yeah, it's good. I mean, you got to move things along.
At the end of the holes, you're kind of adding them up, and he's like, yeah, I think I have like a 10. Like, you're not really being super strict, I guess, but you're still writing down a score. You gotta figure out where you're at. Turns out he was roughly 70 strokes off from being a scratch golfer.
All right. So where's he ranked? If you're 77th in Tennessee in the amateur side, where's your boy at?
He's dead.
Man, I'm not kidding.
How many people have to die for him to be the best fucking golfer in Tennessee?
Oh,
everyone.
Dude, 25,000 people would have to die instantly.
I used to always ask that question, dude. That's how fucked up I was as a kicker. I was such a head case. But as I was trying to make it, I'm like, I wonder how many people have to die in order for me to get a fucking phone call. Like if all 31 punters were on the plane and that went down, would I be the next up? Like, would they finally fucking say, okay, you can go? I used to always ask that. How many people have to die?
What do you need to do to get better? How many people have to die for me to just move up the ranking?
God, I remember Cal asked me that when we were playing hockey as a kid. He's like, Dad, how many people have to die for me to be the best hockey player in Pennsylvania? I mean, I don't know, son. I mean, fucking 12 people on the street, but I don't know the fucking number. But anyway.
That's insane.
Producer Ryan, tell us where they can find us.
Yeah, you can follow us on Untucked Show on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Give us that old subscribe. Hit us with the notification line. And that's also going to be on Untucked Show on YouTube.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, well done. One's in the books. I love it. I don't have anything to do our dismount. I'll just give you the tap of the hat. Well done, boys.